All right, Warriors coming away with a pretty big win here to start their post All-Star break season. Let's call it season 2. How about we do that? Big win here, 128 to 110 at home versus the Lakers. No LeBron tonight, but the Warriors really aren't in a space where they can say, hey, so and so's not here. Let the foot off the gas. You got to pick up games here. Your goal is to get to the 7th or 8th seed. And if you can do that, try and sneak into the 6th seed and just escape the play-in in general. But right now, the Warriors are just fighting to stay alive. So, this is one of those where a win's a win and you walk away happy. And that's what I'm doing. I think there are a lot of positives to tonight. I still think this was a game where you kind of see where the Warriors have issues. And the game plan is going to be problematic come the playoffs if things aren't played perfectly, which is a lot to ask from a team with a lot of young players who are really trying to pick stuff up for the first time in this specific style of play. So it's tough, but I think the Warriors, they have the ability to do it. It's going to require a lot of work and consistency to do so. Let's open things off with this game here. Slow start for the Warriors. Really didn't look good. Call it, getting their feet back under them. How about that? No one looked connected for the Warriors offensively, defensively. They didn't look connected defensively at all tonight, but offensively, they looked very rough. You wouldn't think that because the Warriors opened up with a 31-point first quarter, so you'd think they played very well offensively, but quite the contrary. The only reason they look good offensively is because Steph had like a 16-point first quarter. Kind of weird in general because Darvin Ham let Steph essentially score like 16 points within the first 5 minutes of the game. Didn't call a single timeout. Barely doing anything to help Anthony Davis in drop coverage. He was just getting attacked all night in that, or all first half in that. Really weird one. Kind of surprised. I was questioning the entire first half of the first quarter. Wait, where's Darvin Ham? Greg Popovich. Once, the moment Steph Curry makes an uncontested 3 off of a pick and roll above the 3-point line, and there's nobody helping to be found. Drop coverage is played horrifically. That's it could be 5 seconds into the game. It's an automatic timeout. You cannot allow that because Steph is just once he's on, and Darvin Ham just didn't do it. So the Warriors kind of got away with a big time explosion in the first quarter that kind of saved them from having a potentially, terrible game. Honestly, it would have been really bad if Steph didn't have the opening that he did. Nobody else looked very good. Nobody else looked good. I think Jonathan Kuminga in that first half just didn't look. He looked very discombobulated. He didn't look like he belonged on the floor. Really bad decisions. He felt like he was a step behind everybody. A lot of missed reads. A lot of the time he was just catching the ball, standing there, not making a decision, or he was taking really contested shots at really bad times in the shot clock. Just a lot of. It didn't look good defensively. He was getting eaten apart. I don't want to continue to sound redundant with Kuminga. His defense is just extremely inconsistent. And the one thing that has been consistent with the inconsistencies, it's a mouthful, is the fact that Jonathan Kuminga is really, 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 really bad at navigating screens. He's not good at it. He's so long and athletic, but he moves around screens so slow and doesn't really do a great job at recovering. And he blows a lot of switches as well. So it's just, he kind of gets picked apart out there more times than not. Although, there are games where he does show out. But first half in particular, he didn't look good on either end. He kind of looked lost out there. And it wasn't just him. Podziemski had a rough start. Draymond made a couple of errors. Granted, he always makes his first quarter 3. Also, shout out. Draymond made his first second half 3 of the entire season, an early third quarter one. So, broke the streak, right? Klay came in. I want to talk about that a little bit as well. Klay did not really have a good start. We're going to get into him further, but did not have a very good start tonight. kind of looked exactly like I said he would last video. Started off just shooting, that's it. Just taking shots, contested ones, step back, fadeaways. I think he finished the quarter like 0 of 4, and it just didn't look good. Didn't look that engaged, just felt very about himself again, which is exactly what I said in the Jazz video. It's like, I don't even care that he dropped 35. I still didn't like the way he played because it was just a matter of him making shots or not making shots, and that's not what you're looking for, because if his barometer for attitude and activity on the floor is just if I'm making shots, well, he's not going to be that consistent anymore, which means he's got to get better elsewhere. He's got to start prioritizing other parts of his game, and he didn't really start off doing that tonight, and it looked really rough. The bench unit kind of struggled a little bit. On top of that, 8 first half turnovers for the Warriors. I think there were like 4 or 5 in the first quarter. Really rough, a lot of bad passes, not making the proper reads, just a lot of stupid mistakes. Again, the entire offense looked out of sorts to start things off. And it didn't help that Anthony Davis absolutely controlled the game early on, despite Steph having such an electric start. Anthony Davis was amazing as a rim protector in the first half, absolutely incredible. And then offensively, completely controlled the glass, on top of the fact that nobody could stop him in the paint. He was just getting anything he wanted. No one was able to do anything. Something I've talked about. When there's centers that just barrel down and they're really big and they get to the free throw line, there's nothing the Warriors can really throw at them. It's just, there's nothing they can do. And then you have a team like the Lakers where, yeah, he didn't play tonight, but when LeBron's there and you're seeing that pick and roll or out in transition, if you can't even stop AD, you're not stopping LeBron in transition. You're not stopping LeBron, getting downhill off of a pick and roll. He's one of the best finishers at the rim we've seen. Not just dunking, but finishing through layups, finishing through contact, getting to the line. There's a lot of issues that you're still seeing from the Warriors that even on a perfect night, they're kind of going to get picked apart there. So AD dominated early, really looked rough. The Warriors just didn't have much going outside of Steph's offense, and they were kind of just hanging around there the entire time. Wasn't looking too strong. However, halfway through the second quarter, the Warriors started to catch fire. The offense started to look more together. Good shot to great shot. Taking a little bit better care of the ball. Not making a lot of careless passes. Finding the proper reads. Getting into the paint. Drawing Anthony Davis outside of the paint. Really attacking. Andrew Wiggins had a really great night. We'll get into him later. I thought he did a great job at finding mismatches, and the Warriors finally started getting back to him and making some stuff happen there. I really liked what happened. I think TrayceJackson-Davis, who finally got in the game, again, didn't play in the first quarter. Why Kevon Looney gets minutes still? I don't know. He doesn't offer anything anymore. TrayceJackson-Davis looked spectacular, and he looked great in the second quarter. He had a couple and ones, I think. I think he had like 11 points in 4 minutes. He was unbelievable, getting on the glass, altering shots. Like I said, aside from Draymond, there's only one proper help defender on this team that actually knows what they're doing, even a little bit, and that's Trayce. Trayce was the only one who was really making an effort to help on the weak side to get back onto the strong side, to just do as much as he can, altering shots at the rim as possible, trying his best in pick and roll. He did not too bad a job at guarding the perimeter as well. He got switched on to a couple times, and I think he held his own on one of them. So I liked what Trayce did out there. But the entire Warriors team really started to catch fire in the second quarter, and even though the Lakers really hung around throughout the first quarter and a half, the Warriors finally started to pull away. Ended the half with an 11-point lead going into the second half. So ended on a good note there, finally. They've had a really tough time closing out quarters in the last few games, so to see them end on a high note there was really nice. They also ended on a buzzer beater. Andrew Wiggins had a little tip in there, so that was pretty sick. Third quarter. This was where I think the Warriors finally got a little bit of, maybe not team defense, but just defensive game planning worked and looked good. Anthony Davis was pretty much held to jump shots in the third half. I don't think he made a single one in the first, and he took like 5 or 6. I think he went 0 for on jump shots in that first half, but second half, specifically in that third quarter, I think he only took jumpers, and that was fine. I'm okay with AD taking, I think everybody is, His shots kind of fallen off over the last few years with the Lakers. And the Warriors held him to him. And credit to AD, he made his shots, but the presence that he had on offense wasn't there anymore. You know, the problem with a guy like AD against the Warriors is the Warriors want to run up and down. They want to run, get out in transition, make defenses spread out, get them all, switched out. And now you've got guys missing their cues and everything, and the Warriors are getting open looks. Guys like Kuminga and Wiggins are out in the open floor, nothing you can really do. But when the game is stopping because someone like Anthony Davis is constantly breaking the paint, breaking out closeouts, pick and roll, nobody can really stop him once he's in the dunker spot. Then he's getting fouled and it's free throws, clock stops. It slows down the game. It makes it all really just jumbled, and that's not how the Warriors really end up succeeding anymore. So I think they did a great job at stopping that from happening and forcing Anthony Davis to kind of play into what they want, which is being a jump shooter. So I think they did a very good job there, as well as defensively. AD finally stopped really falling out and drop, and he started coming up a little bit more, which was opening up the floor for Andrew Wiggins, which opened up the floor a bit for Jonathan Kuminga, who, like I said, had a really slow start. But I think in the second half, he was finally starting to get things rolling a bit. He only finished the game with 12 points, 5 of 12 shooting, but I still think he had a better second half. Got a little bit more comfortable out there. Started seeing the floor a little bit better. Once AD was out of the paint, I think he did a better job at just making things happen, look a bit more competent out there. Brandon Podziemski was doing the same thing as well. I think Podziemski did a great job in general tonight at directing traffic offensively, which, again, is going to be a little bit of an issue once Chris Paul gets back in here. What's going to happen there, especially with Quinones? Now they brought up Pat Spencer. I know he's not really going to play unless someone gets hurt again, but overall, I really liked what I saw there. Also, of course, they brought up Pat Spencer. Why not get a center? Why would you never get a center? More guards, the more the merrier, right? But still, third quarter, great job with handling Anthony Davis. That, to me, was the key there. But also, Klay Thompson. Klay had probably his best game, for me, of the year. I loved what Klay did tonight. Klay shot horrifically from the field. Klay came off the bench and was 1 of 9 from the field, 1 of 4 from 3. Didn't even get to the free throw line once. But you know what? Klay was making plays. Klay was directing traffic for a bit. He had 5 assists tonight. I can't even remember the last time Klay Thompson had 5 assists. It might be over a year. It might be over 2. It might be 3, 4, 5, 6. Klay Thompson had 5 assists tonight. He also had 4 rebounds, and I liked Klay's defense. After that first quarter where he just did not look very good, he started off looking a lot like he did in the last game, which, all the talk about, I'm doing this, I'm changing that, my mentality's different, I just want to be here, all this. I was like, that's all talk, bud. I need to see you go out there and play the game right. Stop looking for Klay Thompson and start looking for the Warriors, right? You know what I mean? And I think he did that. I think Klay absolutely, the switch flipped. I think he started off going down the wrong path, and someone either said to him or maybe a switch flipped inside of him, and he was like, we're not doing this again. I'm not disengaging. I'm getting back into this. And he made his presence felt. He was still a positive off the bench, a +2. Not crazy, but non-Steph minutes against the team with Anthony Davis, I'm liking that. I think Klay played very well. Still played 28 minutes. Again, 4 boards, 5 assists. Also had a rip steal on Anthony Davis. I just liked how Klay played for the rest of the game. And he got rewarded by making a 3. Didn't force much. Again, only 9 shot attempts tonight. You want to take 10 shots or less? Get Trace the ball, playing pick and roll, feeding Andrew Wiggins, feeding Jonathan Kuminga. I'm happy, man. I'm happy. You want to make only 1 shot, but do all the rest of that stuff? I'm happy. I'm fine with that. That's what I want from Klay. Impact the game elsewhere. Like tonight, he did not shoot well, and he was still a positive. That's proof to Klay Thompson. Man, you still have a role in this league, even if the shot doesn't fall. Even if you're not priority 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, or 6 on offense, you still have value. And I was just really happy to see him finally take advantage of that. I think it showed him that he is worthy to continue to play in this league and that he does have something to offer still. So I really hope this is the start of something great for him and just the best second half of his career possible. This was a great night. Really liked what I saw there. And it all started in that second half. Next, Andrew Wiggins. Andrew Wiggins was huge tonight. Now, remember, we had the whole talk a few weeks ago, leading up to the trade deadline, leading up really to that stretch where Jonathan was averaging like 25 a night, where it was really like, either dude could get moved, both may get moved. There's no number 2 right now. Wiggins is struggling. Kuminga's still not there. It didn't look good, and then all of a sudden, Jonathan jumped onto the scene. But Andrew Wiggins came back with the defense. That really picked up, and the scoring started to slowly come back up, and his three-point shot started to come back up. And now the offense dipped down a little bit, but the three-point shot's still there. The defense is still there. He's rebounding a bit better. He's very active out there, and you feel his presence, which a lot of the time with Wiggins, especially as someone who's just not very vocal, not very emotional, or very emotive, you really felt him out there tonight. Ended the game with 20 points, 8 of 14 from the field, 2 of 5 from 3, made both of his free throws. Again, he's shooting like 78, 79% now probably from the free throw line in the last 15 games, which is great for him. 3 boards, 2 assists, a steal, a block, only 1 turnover, only 2 fouls, a plus 12. I think Wiggins looked great out there. He was aggressive. He was getting to his spots. He was finishing through contact. He had one play that I was mad at. Okay, my biggest criticism, and you guys could go back and watch the videos, I say it every time with Wiggins, dunk the fucking ball. Stop laying it up when you don't have to. Andrew Wiggins, he'll like get his hand over the rim and then just let go of the ball. Instead of just turning, listen, this is all he has to do. Do that. Just when you go up, just do that. Turn the hand over and then push down. Turn and push. And he'll just let go of it and then misses the layup. He is not very good at finishing layups. His touch around the glass is not great. He's stiff. He doesn't have the Kyrie flow. There's no English on the ball. He doesn't have great touch. So for Wiggins, it's about finishing at the rim strong. And tonight, he finished at the rim strong, dunking the ball. And then the only time he was taking layups, he was getting all the way through the chest and then finishing over top, almost like a floater, but because he was under the basket. I really liked Andrew Wiggins' game tonight. I thought he played fantastic. This is about as good as you're going to get from Wiggins, and especially on a night where Jonathan Kuminga just didn't really have it. Last few, he's kind of looked a little meh out there, not like the 25-point per game Jonathan Kuminga, which I said, expecting Kuminga to do this is a really tough task, so be prepared for it to not happen. Which means Andrew Wiggins is going to have to step back up as well. So it was also cool to see that because, again, Klay didn't have a great night offensively, scoring-wise. But, overall, really happy with Andrew Wiggins' performance. Defense. Defense for the Warriors really was bad tonight. It was just not good. The Warriors did not play well on that end. For a multitude of reasons, I think, again, they don't have the size to compete with a team like the Lakers. LeBron did not play. As of February 22nd, 2024, it's okay. Because the Warriors are a 10 seed. They're only 1 game over 500. Now they're 2 games. But this is a game where you need to win. Like, there's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. You got to start winning. You can't keep doing this win, lose, win, lose, win, lose. You have to win more and more in a row. Right, and start to build up some ground in these standings. So LeBron's out. You got to win that game, and it is what it is. But come the playoffs, that's not the case. Come the playoffs, LeBron's going to be there, and it's going to be a problem when you can't do much to stop things in the paint, when you're not switching well, when you're not closing out well, when you're when you're botching screens and the pick and roll's eating you apart and you can't contest the corner shots, guys are getting wide open looks. Like tonight, the Lakers missed a ton of threes. They shot 28.5% from 3, 10 of 35. They did not shoot well. A lot of the shots they missed were wide open. No contests. Not switching. No help. Miscues. Not reading things properly. Overhelping. It was not a good performance defensively. Again, the big reason the Warriors pulled this one out is because they turned AD into a jump shooter. They took away the offense for the Lakers, and when you turn AD into a jump shooter, the Warriors can get on the glass, which means they can get out in transition, and that's where the Warriors shine. So it was kind of like AD even making shots helps the Warriors really speed things up for themselves. So the defense did not look good. However, they did one thing right, and that was turning AD into a jump shooter. So come the playoffs, this is still going to be an issue. If it's going to work, the Warriors, like I said, they have to play perfect defense. They just have to. No LeBron tonight. LeBron's in the playoffs. He's probably giving you 25, 7, and 7, which means what the Warriors just did tonight is getting decimated, and they probably lose by 15 or 20. It is what it is, but that's the reality of things. So you got to keep looking. If you're watching these games, keep looking out for that. How they're looking defensively, how many shots are open versus contested. We all know Draymond contests hard. We all know Podziemski contests hard. No one else. I mean, Andrew tries to, but even tonight, Andrew didn't look too great defensively. His skill set was really utilized best offensively tonight, but they need to be better defensively, man, and they need to continue to do it consistently, because tonight it didn't look very good. The last few nights it has not looked very good, or a few games. It's been a week and a half, right? So, yeah. With that being said, though, I'm going to end this here. The Warriors on a back-to-back tomorrow. They play the Hornets in San Francisco. The Hornets are, I think, have won like 4 or 5 in a row since the trade deadline. They got a bit older. They brought in some, defensive-minded pieces. I still like the Grant Williams adding a lot. It's going to help big time. Someone who's got finals experience as well. So hopefully that's a good game. I just want to see a good game. And beat Miles Bridges, man. I don't want to fucking see that guy anymore. So, yeah. That being said, if you like the video, leave a like, comment, and subscribe. Let me know what you thought in the comments below. How you feeling? Well, Warriors fans. Yeah. Anyways, have a good rest of your night, and I will see you guys tomorrow with another post-game reaction. Podcast going to happen at some point this weekend or early next week. Peace.